Hi guys, I'm Benzene Ben and I'm here today to check out one of the craziest M2s I've ever seen. This is about as close as you can get to an M2 GTS. So we are going to go and catch up with Imran, who's the man responsible for this. It's an Evolve project car and he's going to talk to us and tell us a little bit more about the car, show us around it, and then we will go for a little drive. So let's go and find him and see what this car is all about. Okay, so here's Imran.
Hi guys.
So you work for Evolve, which is a tuning company, a modifying company?
Yeah, so we're a tuning company primarily specialising in BMWs, hence the M2 and mainly M-Power cars as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this has been a project of yours for how long now?
So we've had the car for just over a year now.
Okay.
The project started as soon as we bought the car, so as you can imagine, we started modifying it immediately.
Straight out of the box?
Straight out of the box,
okay.
Yeah. It was, the first modification we actually did was the ceramic brakes, which you'll see.
Okay, well let's dive right into it. Let's waste no more time, and why don't you take us for a bit of a tour then?
Yeah, okay, so at the front of the car, we've got the RKP front lip, which is done in GTS style. And the orange bit you see at the bottom, that's actually extends out to provide more downforce.
Okay.
Then we've got the Edison Composites GTS style front hood. And as you can see, we've partially painted that.
So this is a full carbon thing.
Yes.
You can just about see the carbon through the paint. I don't know if that'll show up, but this is a full carbon piece, isn't it?
Yeah. And the vent is actually from the OEM GTS, M4 GTS, so that's actually an OEM part.
Okay.
And then at the front of the car, we've got the 660 design forged wheels. So they're the same size as the stock wheels because we wanted to keep the weight down.
Okay.
And you can see the big gold calipers.
Yes.
And the 400mm discs. So that's from the M4. That's the ceramic upgrade from the M4.
So quite a stopping power upgrade over the standard car.
Definitely, and they're wrapped in Toyo R8X tyres.
Okay.
Which are designed for the track, but in the dry, they're very, very good.
Yeah.
So moving on, we've got small details like the body-coloured M2 badges on the side.
Sure.
The skirts on the bottom there, they're from the M4 M Performance range, which we've modified to fit.
So you've modified them yourselves?
Yeah, to fit the M2.
There are some other side skirt options available, but these were your favourite, weren't they?
Yeah, because the others had these winglets that came out of the side, just like the M Performance M2 parts do, and I'm not really a fan. I think aesthetically this works the best. But we can have a look at under the engine bay before we move on.
Why don't we do that? Look at that view.
So yeah, here we've got Venturi intake, which has been finished off in a 1-of-1 orange carbon Kevlar.
It's a lovely, lovely colour. Stands out a lot.
And then we've got the black carbon engine cover as well, which is quite a big piece of carbon.
It really is.
Fills the carbon engine bay out quite nicely.
And then something quite interesting down here.
So we've got a aftermarket charge pipe from ML Performance, and we're running methanol injection.
Just there. And then this is this clear tube, isn't it?
Yeah,
it takes you back
methanol,
to the tank, which is in the back of the car. So we'll see that in a moment. But yeah, what a lovely looking engine bay that is. So moving on round.
Yeah, so we'll look at the interior now, because obviously you can't do the outside of the car without modifying the interior.
Of course.
It's done, so normally the stitching on the M2 is in blue, but as you can see we've changed all of it to orange.
Just everywhere, on the doors.
Yeah, even on that little knee pad in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is real attention to detail.
Yeah, so these seats are Cobra seats, and we've had them restitched in Napa leather with Alcantara, orange detailing. We've even had the Evolve embossed into the seat.
Lovely.
And as you can see, the cage is done in the GTS style with Alcantara seat delete.
Very, very bold paint on this roll
so that's
cage.
the paint, that's a Lamborghini colour from the Gallardo. So it's a 3-stage pearl.
You can just see those yellow highlights in the top and very, very dark reds and browns almost in the shadows of the paint. Really, really bold.
And we've got the carbon roof as well.
Okay,
that's also from Edison Composites.
So the same as the bonnet
and the wing.
And the wing, as we'll come to. So again, full carbon roof with the antennae still.
Yeah, I left the antenna in the body colour just to provide a little bit of contrast.
Yeah.
But I mean, the roof was very involved. That took like between 2 and 3 days to fit. That's whole interior out, glass out, and that was when the car had just 1,200 miles. So
Okay, so a lot of
brand
work.
new car taken apart to fit a roof.
So yeah, that must have been quite a almost painful experience to
It was
take a
quite
brand new
daunting.
car and stick
Yeah.
tools into
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
So suspension-wise, we're running Bilstein B16, which is height adjustable and rebound and compression adjustable.
Okay.
So it's pretty well set up. You'll see from the road, we've left it on a fairly soft setting for the UK
road
roads.
use,
Are quite bumpy, so it needs to be compliant. So at the back of the car, we've got the Edison Composites wing, which again is done in GTS style.
Yeah.
It's got CNC machined brackets, which also have adjustment for downforce.
A few different settings there.
We've left the rear trunk spoiler standard because I think sticking a bigger one on just looked like overkill.
Yeah.
So we didn't. And again, we've got black M2 badge, just a little detail
Yeah,
there.
little black.
So at the back of the car, we've got the RKP Rear Diffuser, which has also had the custom orange highlights.
Very nice.
And we've got a full Super Sprint exhaust.
Okay.
So that's the valved version, so we can leave the valves open or closed depending on how loud we want.
Yes. Who you want to wake up?
Basically, yeah.
There's a very, very nice theme about the car. You've got just enough orange details to give that overall impression, but not go completely insane.
Yeah, so I think it's a very fine line because we were thinking about doing the calipers in orange as well, but because it's one of only 2 M2s in the world with ceramic brakes, we decided to leave them gold so people would know that they're the ceramic
That's
brakes.
going to draw attention to that.
Yeah,
Let's have a little look at the methanol injection tank in the back, because that is not something you see on every car, is it? Where did the inspiration for this come about?
Well, when I put my deposit down for the M2, probably in 2015, a year before it came out, I heard that they were potentially going to do a GTS version. So I put deposit down at the same time for the GTS, and then nothing kind of materialized about it. So I thought it would be really cool to make our own version of it, and literally that's where it comes from. It is our own version of the GTS, and I think if BMW did a GTS version, I don't think it would be very different.
No,
to this.
you do feel like you've got all the elements. Obviously, a lot of this is inspired or taken from the
Correct.
M4,
It
so
is, yeah.
it's very true to M style. It would be interesting to see, like you say, if and when they do come out with a GTS, how similar or different it becomes.
Well, we went to the piston heads meet at BMW headquarters a few weeks ago, and the guys basically saw the car and it was parked around the corner and they said, "Oh, do you want to move it towards the front?" And he said to me that if we did a GTS, I don't think it would be very different to this. Yeah,
that must have felt good to hear.
It did. Yeah, it was very cool.
Okay, fantastic. Well, why don't we go for a little drive then and see what the car's
Sounds
all about?
good.
Right. You might have to be my sat nav.
Yes, no problem. Yeah, right.
Feel the brakes are pretty sharp. You can already get a bit of a sense that this is a bit of an animal. Great view out the rear mirror. It's actually quite a lot of visibility given that there's a full roll cage in the back and a huge wing.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
No, I mean there's enough of it, you just see it in the periphery, so it's a bit of an alert to what you're driving, but you do actually have pretty good visibility. So we didn't talk too much in the walk around of the kind of performance upgrades you've done to this car. I take it obviously alongside the airbox there's some tuning that's been done.
Yeah, so we're currently, because we're running the methanol, we're currently running an ECU map, and we're also running a piggyback ECU to control the methanol.
Okay.
So that acts as a fail-safe. So if, for example, the methanol stopped flowing or it ran out, it would basically cut the boost to a safe level.
Okay.
So I mean, currently the car's making around 440 horsepower and 500 foot-pound of torque on our dyno. But I mean, if you get a chance to stretch the legs, you'll kind of feel like it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Because our dyno is very conservative compared to other people, and we like to give realistic figures.
Believable figures.
Yes. But I mean, myself, I've timed this at less than 4 seconds, 0 to 60
Okay.
on a flat surface. I think I've done a 3.8 in it.
It's pretty
so
serious.
It's pretty quick. Yeah. And the good thing is it's at a level where it does, once the tyres are warmed up, because they are 888s, it does actually get traction as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done much track testing or anything in this?
At the moment I haven't, because it's been so involved in doing photo shoots and videos and things like that. I haven't actually taken it on a track yet, but I definitely will.
You want to?
Yeah, I will do.
Do you have somewhere in mind?
Yeah, I'll probably start at Bedford Autodrome, and then
Okay,
because that's a nice easy track to go on, and then I'll take it to Brands. But yeah, I will do more circuits with it next year.
Because like you say, this has done a few events, photo shoots and things. It was at Autosport, I know, when Tim went.
It was at Essen before that, so 2 months after we bought the car in September, and that December we had to get it ready for Essen. So literally we had 2 months to transform the car. So everything on the car was done apart from the interior. By the time
that was the last thing to do.
Yeah, and then before it went to Autosport, we'd done the orange highlights, and then we completed the interior like a couple of months after that.
Quite a whirlwind project then.
Yeah, it's been very, very quick. I mean, that first stage of turning it into the M2 GTS with all the GTS aero parts was done within 2 months.
Yeah. Okay. And before you got the car, you must have been thinking of that project, had it in mind. Did anything change from your initial concept of what you wanted to the finished piece?
I don't think so. I think this is one of the rare projects I've had where I had a vision in my head of what I wanted it to look like, and it has ended up exactly how I wanted it to look like. Yeah.
Because it is very easy with these sorts of project cars to get a little bit distracted, or you know. But yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely awesome, and like I say, it's all tied together really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, because we're using the carbon parts, we're using 2 different companies' parts, RKP and Edison's, but both those selections work really well for my vision. Because I have a company that makes, even Chewy, we make carbon parts, so my idea was to make our own aero parts for this car. But when I saw that these companies already made them, I thought, well, there's no point in me investing in my own tooling for it. Yeah, for sure.
But I take it that this is not the final form that this car will take, is it?
No, we've still got, towards the end of this month, the idea is to turn it into a BMW art car, because I've always wanted to do that, and I think this is a fitting project for that, so it will temporarily look like that, and then towards the sort of first quarter of next year, I'm going to make it a bit more, so this is, if you say this is a kind of a track ready, I'm going to make it a bit more road friendly.
Sure. Okay. So do you have a list of parts and ideas already for that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So it's going to be a bit more. I would say, if this is a GTS, the next incarnation is going to be a bit more CSL style. Yeah. Okay. So it's never resting. Always evolving. Always evolving. Yeah.
How appropriate. Yeah. It's got a funny experience because the steering wheel, you know, it feels like a very much normal M2. There's lots of normal M2 bits about it, but then I look in the rear view and I have this scaffolding and rear wing, and I can hear the noise, and it's very much a different animal. Got 2,500 revs there, and it sounds good. I can't wait to get a bit more of a clear stretch. Oh wow. Great noise there. You really get a sense of that whooshing. The airbox, and just
it all ties in really nicely.
Let's have another go at that. It's pretty clear behind, so that's good fun. Wow, I can't imagine what this would be like on a track at full chat or at an airfield or something. Yeah, you definitely have to take this somewhere where you can get it loose.
Yeah, and the thing is with this car, it's not even about straight line speed, it really is about how it goes around corners. Yeah.
Have you driven it much with the front splitter extended?
No, because on these roads it's quite dangerous to do that. I mean, the front splitter, it's quite aggressive anyway, but I'll probably reserve the extending of it to track work.
Yeah, for sure. Just driving it around like there is very, very manageable. And the brakes are really good.
Yeah, the brakes are almost more impressive than the acceleration.
Yeah, you only need a tiny little bit of pressure and you're coming to an almost instant halt.
It takes quite a long time to get used to them, actually.
Yeah.
because it's so sharp.
There, yeah. This sounds so cool. It's not just the awesome acceleration of it, because it really does move, but that extra noise really completes the experience. It's not too intrusive in the cabin, like you say, you just about hear it.
Yeah, it doesn't drone at all, so
No.
it's pretty much perfect. So you can do it right here.
Okay.
Yeah, with the exhaust you can go loud, really loud, and then it just grates on you and it drones inside when you're just cruising. But yeah, this doesn't drone at all.
A long journey or something.
We haven't been to Germany and back twice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been fine.
So yeah, this car has done some travelling. What are we at? 7,200 miles. I presume that's in miles.
That's miles, yeah, and it doesn't get used as a daily, really.
No.
I mean, it has been, but most of the miles are either going somewhere or going to a show or coming back.
Feels like this car has so much to give. It's just begging for an appropriate road.
Yeah, we're coming up to one soon.
Wow, that sounds nice on the downshift. It almost feels a bit naughty to be driving this on the road, like it shouldn't be allowed.
I think you almost get that kind of reaction from people as well, like you're driving a track car on the road.
Yeah, you must get some interesting looks. Well, when we were pulling out, there was the guy driving by who had to do a bit of a double take.
Well, yeah, a lot of the time if you're at traffic lights, people stop and they'll say, "Oh, is this a limited edition one?" You actually think it's from factory.
Yeah. Well, like you say, you've used a lot of M performance parts. Even to a trained eye, they might think it was something from the factory.
I think the suspension is still pretty compliant though for the road.
Yeah.
It's not,
yeah, it's certainly not uncomfortable. Like I say, you've got enough. It's stiff enough that you still get some of that race car feel, jolted around a little bit, but it's certainly not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're not thrown all over the road. It's not a hard ride. Like you say, you've got it in a soft setting for these UK
Yeah, it's
roads,
adjustable. So yeah, we're running more on the soft side. Yeah. So overall, I think we've saved about 30 kgs from the car by doing all the carbon. But I think we've saved it in the right places, so I've concentrated on saving the weight on the rotating mass.
Okay.
So the wheels are slightly lighter than the stock forged ones.
Yeah.
And you've obviously got the ceramic brakes, which are around 2 or 3 kgs lighter.
Yeah.
But it's rotating mass, and that makes a difference everywhere. Your acceleration, your braking, the way the car changes direction, the steering.
It's where everything's happening. It's your connection to the road. So why BMWs? What is it about BMW that speaks to
I don't know, I've always liked BMWs. My first performance car, well, what I classed as a performance car, was an E30 M3.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of fell in love with them from then, and then after that I've always had M cars. So I went E30 M3, Z3M, E46, E92, E60 M5, E39 M5, F10 M5. So literally I've had almost every M car since E30 M3.
Strong history.
Yeah, strong history of BMW, and just there's something about the fact I like that they take an ordinary saloon car and it can kind of do the daily duties, and you can take it on track and you can go on B roads and have a really good blast in it. And I like rear wheel drive as well, so rear wheel drive LSD, have some proper fun.
Car.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hear the little burbles there on the lift off. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. How do you fill it up with the methanol?
Basically pre-mix it and then use a funnel to pour it.
Do you do that at the workshop?
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, I have no idea at all. Where do you buy that sort of thing?
You buy it from this company who deals in chemicals, basically. Yeah. So you buy the special deionized water and methanol from the same company. So they come and deliver it on their own trucks, because obviously you can't send it in the Royal Mail. Yeah.
extended popping as
Yes,
well.
it is,
It's not
yeah.
just like one or two. You get like ba 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 ba. That's great about it. Even around town, like it makes a great noise, even accelerating up to
Slowly,
30,
yeah.
and then you pop and bang all the way up to the mini roundabout.
It has a lot of personality.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, and I think it all comes together with the colour scheme, the little orange highlights and things. And those are obviously the GTS range has that little orange highlight to it, but yours is a bit more stand out, a bit more bold, but it still has that kind of history and character.
Yeah, I mean, before the GTS came out, if we had done this, people would think it would be too much and it was aftermarket.
Yeah.
And now we do it, and because the GTS has that theme running through it, people will see, oh, is that factory?
Yeah.
Which you would never get that before.
It doesn't hang around either, it's quick.
Because a lot of people ask me about this car and say, what's it like to drive in, and the M2 in general. It is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun car.
Yeah. I mean, the M2 is a great car, you know, as it comes. It's playful, but pretty quick. You know, it does everything like you say. Like
it's very well balanced as well.
Yeah.
Very well balanced.
And just driving this a little bit, I can feel it's confidence inspiring. You know, you would be confident going through a corner at some speed in this that it's going to stick. It does feel very planted even at these speeds. So that's standard mode, and now sport. Lots of extra burbles, really, really nice. And now the extra bonus traction off mode. Really, really meaty pops and bangs there. That just sounds insane. We are back at the workshop after that drive, and doesn't this car sound so good when you're stood outside it? You get the full force of those pops, the bangs. Just sounds amazing. Now, you might be asking, what does this sort of thing cost to put together? Well, I can tell you that the total sum of parts and work to transform an M2 into this is about £28,000. Now, quite a lot of that is paying for the labour of having the work done. The roof, for instance, was quite an enormous job to do. Although the actual carbon panel is not too expensive, paying to have the work done over the course of 3 days to have this part installed, it starts to add up to your car parts budget. But you have to admit, the finished result looks absolutely awesome. So I have to say a thank you to Imran from Evolve for letting me take the car out, showing me around the car, talking me through its history. I very much look forward to seeing this car in the future, to see what becomes of it, what it evolves into, if you will. But for today, we're going to leave it there. So I have to say a thank you to Imran, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, seeing this car. I will see you again very soon. Cheers, guys.